Hey guys, Jen and I realized that we have a lot of new subscribers here, so we thought we'd do a short little tour of the off-grid cabin for you guys. If you're new here, this cabin is 16 by 24. We started building this in the spring of 2020. We built everything ourselves. The only thing we had help with was the electrical from a friend, and other than that, we've done the total build from the ground up. We have tons of videos, so if you only have watched our time-lapse video that we just did about a month ago, please go back and check out our whole journey. I would love to have a whole new group of people here that saw where we started and have come up to this point. In the summer of 2020, we did post and beam type foundation, built the cabin on top of that. Just traditional framework. We did 2x4 walls because it was inexpensive and fast. We had a lot of reused materials in this build. I am a rookie. I've never built anything before other than like a small shed for a bathhouse for our camp down at the bottom of the hill. So this was a learning process. All the decking, all the structural stuff for the decking, and all the siding we milled from trees on our property, large poplar, aspen type trees, a lot of milling. It takes a lot longer when you can't just go to the big box store and get dimensional lumber. Everything that we did, like I said, rough sawn type boards. So let's go inside. I want to show you all the progress we've made and show you the interior. Come on in, guys. Come on in. Give me a minute here to get undressed so I can give you a little tour of the cabin, all right? All right, that's better. It's, I think, 5 degrees outside right now, so I'm going to double check that. Oh, 6 degrees. So I have been here at the cabin for about a week doing some projects. If you have any questions about anything you see here, obviously ask in the comments, but another good strategy would be to go back and look through our video list from the last 1.5 to 2 years, and you can see each project, each little thing. We do a video on it, so come on in. This is our layout. Let's see questions that people ask. We have a Hearthstone 2 Soapstone stove. If you're not familiar with Soapstone stoves, they have traditional like cast framing, and then the tiles, the soapstone tiles, are the walls of the stove. They hold heat really good. They do take about an extra hour to heat up, so when you come here and it's 5 degrees, it does take about an hour to an hour and a half before that heat starts radiating, as opposed to a steel stove will just start radiating pretty quickly, heats up pretty quick. That's one disadvantage to a soapstone, but they are beautiful, so it's worth the extra hour, and they hold heat. Once the fire goes out, then it radiates that for a couple hours after the fire's gone. I have a video about doing the install for this through-the-wall thimble kit, going through the wall and then the chimney pipe on the outside. This cabin's under 400 square feet. This stove heats this place plenty well. Wood stove playlist. If you want to see anything about this wood stove build, check it out. Jen and I bought 1,000 square feet of pine tongue and groove. You see all the pine tongue and groove in here. There's, I believe, an Amish lumber yard on the west side of the state that we purchased all that pine tongue and groove. We bought that last fall. We were hoping it would do everything we needed, but we did end up having to go back and get another 500 square feet. We just purchased that so we can do the ceiling underneath the loft, and we can finish this gable end. And of course, the 500 square foot that I bought this year cost me the same amount as the 1,000 square foot that I bought last year, because prices have doubled. I had to bite the bullet there a little bit, but anyway. The cabin is wired just like a traditional house with AC breaker box, just like any house. What we do is we have a wire coming out of there for now. Next year I'm going to run a permanent line, but right now I have a 30 amp plug coming out of there, and we run that to our solar shed and our solar array that's just outside. I'll show you that real quick at the end of this video if you're interested in that. This is a maple tree that I cut down by camp. We used the same tree, this one tree we used for all the beams in here. The rafter beam holds the walls together over on this side of the cabin because we have vaulted ceilings. So that rafter beam holds our walls together from spreading. We did a 10-12 pitch on the roof, and it's metal roofing. So from what I understand, when you do steeper roofing, the pressure isn't pushing on the walls so much. So, and no snow load ever sticks up there because it just slides right off. And then of course we have the 10 by 16 loft that is all tied to the wall. So that holds the walls together and the roof together on that side of the cabin. That gives us a lot more strength, that loft over there. We just put this loft ladder in a couple months ago. I'll show you how that operates. Again, we have videos on every single thing I'm showing you right now if you want to see individual projects. I'm just kind of winging it. Jen and I are winging it here. We're not builders, so you'll kind of see how somebody who's not a veteran at building or a professional do stuff. I'm not saying it's done right, but it's not done the worst, and it will hold up and take care of us for a long time. Let me set up the camera here. I'll show you how the loft works and just show you the loft real quick. We have a cleat over here with a rope. We have some heavy duty, not heavy duty, but we have some paracord. We have a pulley up at the top of the roof. We leave this wrapped a couple times and just let this down real slow. We're still working out the kinks with the loft too, or with the ladder too. I mean, it works, but it's a little hard to put up. It's a little heavy, so we might put one more pulley on the bottom and then it'll lighten the load. The loft is, again, like I said, 10 by 16. We did 9-foot walls in the cabin, so it wouldn't feel so claustrophobic. We put the loft floor at 8 foot. That way we had an extra 1-foot knee wall, and then the steep roof gave us just enough space. I think it's about 7-foot ceiling in the middle, so we could walk and stand up there. The bed that's up there, that bed is going to go in our bedroom when we build the bedroom. So there's a plan, guys. It's not always it doesn't always stick out to you guys what the plan is, but there's always a game plan, and then sometimes we just get lucky and things work out. But, you know, there's a little plan behind most of the things that's going on around here. So anyway, another project, guys, I just did this week, is the kitchen. It's not finished. It's still a work in progress, but just this week, we got a cook stove. That's a vintage 19, who knows. It's a Detroit Jewel. It's a 20-incher, set up for propane. Perfect for a little cabin. We didn't want to put a 30-incher in here and lose counter space. So there's our propane stove. We looked, and like I said, we try to do things budget friendly. We looked for, like, almost a year, we looked for kitchen cabinets secondhand, because everything we have is secondhand pretty much. And we looked and looked and looked, and everybody wanted so much money for junk. We just finally worked hard, saved a little extra money, and did Diamond brand hickory-faced cabinets from Lowe's. Also, I just purchased this 30-inch by 10-foot piece of white pine. I do have a sawmill, but not one that will cut anything that large. I think my sawmill maxes out at 23 inches, plus we don't have a tree. So if I'm going to try to find a large tree, I might as well just, you know, bite the bullet and support another sawmill. I don't believe we're going to do any upper cabinets. We might just do all floating live edge shelves, or maybe even brackets under. They don't have to be floating. We haven't used this little fridge. This little fridge here I bought, we haven't used it yet. It sucks out a good amount of energy. That's probably going to go bye-bye, and we'll have to work on a propane fridge, or maybe a 12-volt fridge of some sort, or a lower draw fridge. So we actually have a company that's supposed to send us something that we're kind of excited about, and we're going to show that to you in a future video. So future projects, guys, just if, like I said, if you're new here, what we're going to do is, obviously, I have all the cabinets installed in here, but the countertop is just sitting there right now to get a good look at it. We're going to finish this countertop. We're going to make it look super perfect and pretty. We have to trim out all the windows and then the corners and the baseboards and all that stuff. So that's future projects. Future project here, we're going to pine tongue and groove this ceiling in the kitchen. And then we have to insulate this and finish pine tongue and grooving that. Oh, flooring. I had probably a dozen people in the comments say, oh, beautiful cabin, why'd you put cheap laminate flooring in, or cheap plastic flooring? I don't understand why people make assumptions, but this is engineered hardwood. I was not putting plastic or laminate or vinyl in this cabin. I believe it's 1/2 inch thick. It's pretty good heavy duty stuff. yeah, this is engineered hardwood flooring. We got a great deal on it. It was cheaper than vinyl. It was cheaper than, it was about the price of laminate, but it's engineered hardwood. It's, you know, layered hardwood. I couldn't afford $8-9 a square foot for hardwood, solid hardwood. So engineered hardwood's what we got. And it gives you that wood feel, because it is wood. It's just, you know, layers of wood. What else, guys? What'd I forget? In the winter time, we just towed our water in. I don't have a kitchen sink set up yet, so that's the next step. We'll be doing a little bit of plumbing and stuff like that. We're hoping to do water catchment off of the cabin. Now that we have a nice metal roof on the cabin, we can do some water catchment. Thank you guys for joining us on this little cabin tour. I'm going to go outside. I'll show you the solar setup real quick, just so you're like, hey, how do you get your power? We just got the solar array set up this summer too, so this is all fairly new, trial and error types kind of stuff. You know, you do a little research and learn as we go. Let's go check out the solar shed real quick and the solar array. All right, guys, all prepped for the hurricane type winds that are out there. All right, guys, here's our solar setup. We just did these videos a couple months ago. We have 1,000 watts of Renogy 100 watt panels underneath this. I'm gonna shovel this off. When I did my solar array, one of my biggest concerns was I wanted it to be easy to shovel off. There's a lot of YouTube channels out there, a lot of guys that have solar arrays, and their stuff's on the roof, which is a great place for it if that's the only place you can do it and you have it up there for the sunshine reasons. But I didn't want mine up on the roof, so I had to get a snow shovel up there, or a roof rake, or get on a ladder to clean my panels. So this spot right here on our property gets tons of sun. I mean, it gets sun for 6 to 8 hours a day depending on the time of year. So here's our solar shed. Here's our broom, or our snow brush that we brush the panels off with. Here's our Gandale 3000 watt, or Gaindale 3000 watt inverter, 24 volt. Here's our 8 Renogy batteries, 100 amp hour batteries. They are sealed lead acid AGM batteries, deep cycle. They're 12 volt batteries, but they're in series and together to make 24 volts per bank here. So we got 400 amp hours at 24 volts of battery bank, which isn't a ton. We might add on 2 or 4 more batteries at some point, depending upon how they fare this winter. Everybody mentions, you know, lithium, this and that. Well, the cabin's cold. It's not heated full time, and this is cold, obviously. So lithium iron phosphate is great, but AGM sealed lead acid batteries will not freeze until, I think, -80 if they're charged. So think about it this way. Lots of cars have flooded lead acid batteries in them, and they don't get damaged every winter when they're in your car, right? So as long as these are trickle charging with the panels or fully charged, they won't freeze up unless it's below temperatures that we don't get here in Michigan. Now, granted, we do get minus teens in the winter up here, but not for consistent days, weeks on end, or anything like that. Typically, it hovers right around the single digits Fahrenheit. 3,000 watt Gandale. It's just plugged into an extension cord right now, going to the cabin. We're gonna run a line and dig a trench and do it permanent next summer, but we ran out of time. We couldn't dig a hole or dig a trench in this year. Over here we have our EP Ever charge controller. That's a 40 amp charge controller. Could take up to 1,000 watts of solar panels. Here's our little top side, tells us what we're getting as far as solar. We get 24.6 volts in the batteries, 26 volts coming in from the panels, and 0.7 amps. So again, the camera plays tricks on these lights, but the charge controller is trickle charging that right now, and the reason it's not more wattage than that is because there's heavy cloud cover. That's pretty much our solar setup, and you know, we don't run any big appliances or anything in the cabin. It's just lights and electronics, charging electronics. I'm hoping at some point we can run a fridge in there, but that's about the only thing. The only thing my solar is lacking right now is a way to charge it with a generator. I want to get that set up, figure out what's safe and the best way to do that. So this has been strictly solar for, I think, 6 months. and it charges. It just, you need to keep the panels clear. If I leave the inverter off when I'm not here, and then the solar can still charge. So 24.6 volts. It's getting on the low end. I've been using it for a few days, 4 days, and we've had no sun. So it went from 26 volts down to 24.6 volts. Pretty happy with this setup. So as long as my batteries don't freeze up and have long-term damage to them, or, you know, which they shouldn't. Everything I've read says they're fine. So anyway, thanks for watching this tour video. This isn't gonna be, so I don't think it's gonna be some fancy video or nothing. This is just a tour. I wanted to show you guys and catch some of you guys up. If you guys have questions, obviously put them in the comment section below. Another great way to get your answers to your questions would be to watch some of our videos about all these projects, and that would, you know, help us all. So thank you very much for being here. Thanks for watching this video. Best wishes, guys. Hey guys, I just got done shoveling off the panels, and I want to tell you who won the snow brushes. We did a little raffle a couple weeks ago, giving away a couple snow brushes to a couple of people who commented in the comment section. We were just going to give away one, but I had so much fun, and you guys commented so many times in the video that I figured, hey, let's throw a second one in there. So the first winner was Diane Harris, or Harrison, or Diane Harrison. So you guys have already been contacted, and we're getting your addresses so we can send you guys a snow brush. The second person that we, like I said, we just threw a second one in there because we had so much fun with it, was start with a B. I have no idea what it was. Bio-wana, Bio-weenie, Bio something. Your little profile picture was Border Patrol. We've already contacted you guys, but everyone else just wanted you guys to all know who won. Thanks guys for participating. I had a lot of fun doing that, so hopefully we can get some more stuff and do some raffle slash giveaways once in a while. Something, you know, this is a nice little gift, but let's do something bigger next time, okay? Channel's growing, we're doing well, we're very grateful for all you guys, so thank you for participating, being here, and best wishes, okay? Take care.